Liz, welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good morning from sunny San Diego, yeah?
Yes, sunny is hot today, for sure.
How hot is hot? Come on, let's have a hot off.
Are you kidding me? No, it's like so 75 degrees, I need a sweater. And at 80, I'm like dying.
Yes.
And I also coach softball. So like when you're out on the field and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's 80, I'm like dying.
Yeah.
And it's softball season, so it's going to get to like 90 and 95 on Sundays. So I'm hot.
Brutal. Yep. All right. So listen, for the listeners, as they know from hearing in the intro, this is once a month I feature one of our members of our private, Mortgage Marketing Pro membership, of which you have been a member now roughly how long?
Like 2 months?
2 months, yeah. Yeah, 2 months. But you've gotten after it very fast, and that's why for the month of August, you are our member of the month. So I wanted to have you on and talk about like not only what a fast start you've gotten off to, but some of your results. But before we do that, just give us kind of your personal version of your tenure in the mortgage business. How long have you been in it, and what do you enjoy about it?
So I've been in the industry for about 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got in when I was 19. And I actually got in, I used to sell cars, and I got recruited to sell cars. And then from there, I got bored. And so then I wanted to do something else. And so then I got in the mortgage industry. And there's a movie that I can't pinpoint, but there's a movie basically where you go in and it's like ruthless every single day. You got to be watching it. And so I would go to work every single day, and I had to get a score of 100% on my test, or you'd be fired.
Really?
So it was on 30 days.
This is selling cars. You got the test?
This is how I got into the mortgage industry.
Where was the test though? You had to take every day for 100 points.
At my job.
Mortgage or cars?
Yeah, no, mortgage.
Mortgage. Okay, got it. All right. So you started somewhere else, and that was the lovely environment there.
Yeah, that's exactly how I got in. And so you had to take the test every single day. If you didn't pass with their specific percentage, you were fired.
Really?
With like 40 people, ended up with 2, and I was one of those 2 after the 30 days.
Wow.
So that's how I got in.
What were some of the things you had to pass, if you will, on that test?
Oh, it was like you had to learn what an arm was. You had to know the actual like definition of every single different thing. Back in that time, what is it, 15 years ago, from 2009, 04?
Yeah, so guidelines and all that.
Yeah, guidelines. You need to know the programs. You started out as being the telemarketer, the phone call person, and then you grew up to be the mortgage consultant. Yeah, so
career path.
Yes. For heaven's sakes. And
so funny. So you were basically smiling and dialing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally.
So you and me both. I can relate to that because my very first job was a subprime lender. I work in internet leads online. Yeah. That was brutal.
It was tough. Yeah.
It's a good way to learn. Now it's funny you came from the car industry because that's friggin' hardcore sales right there.
Oh yeah. I used to sell Saturns.
Oh my God.
Back in the day.
Holy crap. Well, those are flying off the shelves back then, weren't they?
They were. That's actually how I met my husband, actually.
Really? You sold him a Saturn?
Yes. Twice.
Oh, wow. Seriously. So you sold him a Saturn twice, then you sold him on Honey, Marry Me. There you go. You are quite the salesperson. I love it. All right. So we transition into the mortgage business. And all right. So what about the mortgage business? I always like to kind of highlight this because what I get from you is that you're a passionate person for sure. You're a high energy person, but I sense that there's something you like or enjoy greatly about the mortgage business.
So I love math.
Okay.
That's always been my big thing. And then when I talk to clients or talk to agents, I'm going to break this down by the math because math is fun. And so when I was in school, when I was younger, that was like my favorite subject in school was math. And so when I'm doing like the total cost analysis or any of that stuff, it's all broken down by the math.
Yeah.
And then I love teaching. So I couldn't be the teacher per se.
Right.
I love teaching people as to how to grow and be better financially savvy because we came from a totally different situation and trying to get more financially savvy and more financially fit. And so to me, I feel like I've gone through those steps and I feel like I should be able to teach somebody, hey, don't go down my route, and apparently my route is the route of the typical person.
Mm-hmm.
You don't budget, you don't look at your finances, you kind of just run with the debit card. And in talking to people, that's kind of my way in, because I'm trying to educate them on how to be better for the future, and not just like right now, where's the best rate and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So you've always liked math, and you have what I'll call the heart of a teacher.
Yes.
Right. So you like teaching people these concepts for being financially literate, responsible, understanding what their choices are when it comes to a mortgage.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Those are like the hallmarks of any, I think, high achiever in this industry.
Wow.
I mean, seriously, right? You've listened to a bunch of, it's true, right? I mean, you've got to have a knack for being able to teach and educate people. Otherwise, what are you quoting? Price? I mean, so what?
Right. Exactly.
How do you differentiate yourself today? It's got to be, can't be just price.
Right. Because
there's
always somebody selling the lowest rate, and you have to be able to come from another perspective. You have to be able to show them that there's other value that you bring besides the lowest rates, the lowest fees, and you're going to close on time. That's like the bare minimum. That's what I tell agents today. I'm like, that's the bare minimum for me to even knock on your door, is to have the best rates, the lowest fees, and to close on time. And I want your business, and I'm going to answer your phone call. Like, if I'm not doing that, then why am I even knocking?
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So thank you for that background. The other thing that kind of stands out, I noticed about you, well, let me ask you this question first, is what's your number one source of business?
Right now, it's just referrals from agents.
All right, so real estate agents, yep. Yep. And has that been a pillar of yours for quite a long time, 15 years in the biz?
No, it hasn't. So I used to work at a bank for a really, really long time, and it wasn't that way until I would say about 4 or 5 years ago, until I realized that I had to switch my whole game plan, and I went from being more refinance driven to being more purchase driven. And not only until about 2 years ago did it actually start all changing over to being more purchase versus less refinance.
Okay. Now, so let me ask you this question, because this kind of transitions into the kind of the headline of our conversation, and how you, being a pro member, you're leveraging teaching agent classes. How were you, over the last 2 years prior to you kind of getting access to our membership with done for you classes and stuff? How were you attracting real estate agents?
So I am actually in charge of Caravan. So here in Escondido.
Nice, yeah.
I'm in charge of Caravan. I've been in charge of Caravan for going on 4 years. So it'll be 4 years actually this month in August.
How do you not get bounced out of that position after 4 years?
Oh, dude, I'm like the staple. They call me the triple threat, because I actually am in charge of the back page, the agenda print, the buyers wants and needs. And so when I get introduced, I am literally, oh, this is Reyes LeFore, the triple threat, because I do all three.
No, it's funny because, I would figure there'd be other people vying for that position, competitors of yours.
It's a lot of work, and I've been doing it for
nobody wants it, do they?
Nobody wants it, because and I've stapled in it like all of the different stuff. Before they would transfer this position of the agenda thing, they would transfer it every 6 months.
Yeah,
and
right.
The last time that it got transferred back like 3 years ago, nobody wanted to transfer it, and I kept adding more stuff because people stopped wanting to do more like extra work.
Yeah.
And so I ended up being one thing to the second thing, and then now I became the triple threat, so I'm in charge of basically all of it. So I run
so there's an obvious lesson in here, because you brought up the 6 month thing. That's what I recall too in Orange County, where I used to work. It used to be rotate every 6 months. But how much business do you get from that, being in charge of Caravan?
So I speak every single Tuesday. Every Tuesday I have a 2-minute speech. And so my 2-minute speech is always inclusive in what my job is for Caravan.
Okay.
But also some kind of success story as to what happened. So it's not about, my speech is never about, hey, I got these great rates, great service, I'm going to close on time, because again, it's like the bare minimum. So I was always coming with some kind of topic of something that happened in the last week. And so with your stuff, it's okay, let me teach, I'm teaching classes at this point. But before it was, hey, this just happened. Or when I was working at the bank, it was, hey, this happened. You probably didn't think we could do it, but we actually got it done. Or, hey, we were actually closing on time, which you probably never heard of us closing on time before, because we were, the company in itself was not commonly known for that.
Yeah. So those are like client success stories or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then do you get agents coming up to you wanting to talk to you further, and business comes organically by that?
No.
Seriously, you're joking?
I swear to God, no.
What? No agent approaches you and wants to do business?
No. So my way in was, I'm going to talk, and then every now and then you'd have the agent that comes up every now and then.
Yeah.
But my way was actually going to the open houses, and people would go, "Oh, it's such a waste of time. You're going to go out there from 10:30 to 1:30. You're spending like 3 hours of your time. You're going to see those open houses. Why?" And to me, I was like, that's like, I was very, and it sounds really stupid, but like, there's over 100 people. And so to me, I'm like, it's so intimidating to like, who do you talk to? Where do you go? And so to me, it was easier. Hey, if I go to an open house, it's just me and them, or me and like 2 other people. And so I would hook up my title up. I'm like, hey, I need you to like just be that other person to hook up with me and then to go. And so that's how I would end up going to go see all these open houses every single Tuesday. But when I started, I didn't start by, I'm going to go, because people go in the caravan and go, I want to meet 2 people every single time. From the minute I start, I want to meet 2 people, and I want to get 2 business cards or 3 business cards or whatever. I went in there seriously with the intent of, I just want to show up every single Tuesday. I don't want to be late. I'm going to sit in the back corner. I don't need to talk to nobody. I'm just going to be here for like 3 months. And then once I'm ready, like and I said to myself, because I started at the end of at September. So I'm like, when I'm done for those 3 months, and I've done this consecutively, in January, I will start speaking. But I didn't want to do anything else. So my friend that was my partner that was going to come with me, and we were going to like be, each other's accountability, about 2 months in, said, "Oh, I signed us up." I'm like, "What do you mean you signed us up?" And so apparently she had signed us up. Our thing was up at the top. Yeah. I was the one that was to speak, because I was like, "Okay, well, are you going to talk?" And she goes, "No, I can't talk. I can't do that." So then I'm there like shaking, trying to talk in front of like literally this place is over 100 people every single Tuesday.
Wow.
And that's how I got in. I was just like, okay, I'm just going to keep going. And because once you talk, you have to keep going.
Yeah.
Or, you're just a spaghetti that fell off the wall.
That's so she signed you up for that 6-month run without you knowing about it?
Yes.
Wow. Nice. What a good friend.
I know, right? And then she never came back.
But that obviously positively impacted your business and your life and all that stuff. Yeah. And then after the caravan, you would go out to the open houses as well?
Yeah, I would go out to the open houses. One of the recent things that happened just when I actually left the bank. So at the end of last year, I actually started doing more social media, more video and stuff like that. So one of the things that I actually recently started, which was, I would say about 2 or 3 months ago, I would go, do the same thing, go see the houses, and then I would start making videos out of it. So I would do what I call exploring Escondido. And so I would take little video clips and then just do 4 little mini clips of the house, and then do my like front intro of that house, and then go to the next one and do the same thing, and go to the next one, and how many houses I could go see, that's what I would put on this video. So I started this, I want to say it was almost 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah. And I would then post it on Thursdays. And so from there is where I started getting more agents, where they started seeing my video, and they started now going, "Oh, Liz is so great with this video and this and this and that." And then it's, "Hey, Liz, are you going to come see my house today so you can put it on Exploring Escondido?" And so now I was getting special requests to have me go to their house so I could put it on my Exploring Escondido that I would post on Thursdays.
Wow. That's really neat. I want to talk about that some more in a minute, but right now I'm curious about, okay, so agents are asking you, "Hey, you're going to come feature my house." Did that then lead to meetings and eventual business?
Yeah. So that led into eventual business. And so one thing that anytime that I would meet somebody, I would put them onto my, my drip that I reach out every single Monday. I call it a mortgage tip for my agents.
And that's an email.
Yep. It's an email. It's a BombBomb email.
BombBomb video email. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so I send out my BombBomb video email, and it's a mortgage tip for agents, and it's like 1 to 2 minutes of something that happened, whether it's a success story or something that I learned, or I did one about condos, and then the occupancy. So every single topic, every single week was a different topic, and so I would send. So once I met them, I would follow up and thank them for their time, send them a little video, send them my text message, but then I would stick them on my drip. And so that's actually, I would say probably the one of the biggest things as to how I've gotten in front of them and where I've started getting their business is because literally every single Monday at 8:30 in the morning, they're getting my BombBomb mortgage tip with Liz on for my agents.
Right. That's awesome. And obviously you read your analytics on open rates and views and all that.
Yeah.
Yep. You happy with it? Is it decent?
It's decent. And it's actually the funniest thing is that the people that don't send me business are the people that are watching like the whole video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the people that are opening my email are like ones that are not giving me like the best referrals, but they'll still give me a referral, which is kind of funny to me. Because I'm like, you still see me.
But that'll come over time.
It sure does. And so, and it's all just consistency every single Monday. And then
how do you schedule your content out for that? If one goes every Monday, are you batching or how do you do that?
So I batch it. So what I end up doing is actually I have specific days. So I have Mondays. Mondays is usually the 1 hour, Wednesdays, and then I have Fridays. So I do anywhere, depending on the day, it's 30 minutes to an hour of videos. And I literally will, I use Evernote. So that's kind of like my little note taker. So I have different topics because every single day has a different topic of a day. So in that for the mortgage tip for agents, I'll just think of something will happen and I'll just start writing down that idea. And then I'll write down the next one and I'll write down the next one. Like I just did like literally 3 of them. This and that one about IRS, the other one about the down payment assistance, one about residency. I mean, it's just stuff that comes up.
I want to highlight something. First of all, there's no shortage of content ideas.
Absolutely not.
Because you've heard in the past, I'm sure people say, well, I don't know what to say, right? And I'm calling BS on that right now.
That's baloney. I'm like, I mean, like I've had 3 conversations just today and I already have another writing list. Yeah. And so I like have another sticky that I'm like writing down stuff and then I have to put it onto my Evernote. Yeah. No, there's always something that happens. And one of the ones like last week was residency. Somebody, came over and started living here in 2017. They needed enough time to be on the job. So I'm like, easy video, another video.
Oh, so you told a story about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. And did you wind up getting the loan or was it just kind of the story about residency?
Oh, no, I ended up getting the loan.
All right. So that's cool. Yeah. So there's a win there, which is nice.
Yeah. But the same thing that even when I lose, I'll still talk about it because I had one where it was a condo occupancy. We couldn't do it. The occupancy was over, if I remember correctly, it was like 60% or 65% non-owner occupancy. Yeah. And the person wanted to do 3% down. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. Had tried another lender that didn't work. Came back to me to see if I can do it. I'm like, no, this isn't going to work. You need more down. And so nonetheless, they had to back out of the deal. But that was an easy, hey, I didn't get this done, but you need to know this when you're listing and you have a condo, you need to check this. Check your tax rolls.
Yep. It's a great educational point, and it demonstrates your knowledge, right? You're a knowledgeable mortgage professional. So again, planting those seeds.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. All right. So we're doing the BombBomb things, the video, you're adding people. How many agents are in that outbound email database right now?
I think I'm almost at 300.
300. And is most of that been from like your stuff you're doing at the board?
No.
The caravan? No.
Anybody I'd meet, whether it was maybe like they got an offer, they were going to get an offer accepted, and then it turned out that they didn't accept our offer. If I spoke to them, I'd add them on my email. If I it was just adding another person. If I saw you at Caravan and we spoke, I'd add you on my email. If I went to your house, I'd add you on my email. It's like it's just, and then if you unsubscribe, you unsubscribe. But I mean, like my unsubscribe percentage is like really, really low.
Right. So, good. Well, because you're delivering value.
Yeah.
And it's not the templated corporate newsletter and muffin recipes and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. By the way, and before we leave this point, I want to give you a huge kudos and shout out because you did mention a moment ago about your exploring Escondido videos. And you've got a YouTube channel that I know you're working hard on because it's not easy to do this. I just want to, like, I do this applause. When I saw this earlier, kind of in prepping for this call, I didn't know that you were actually doing this YouTube stuff. And that's really cool. I mean, I'm looking at like it's like you're a realtor almost, right? Doing the content. You're like exploring Escondido, how to get the swipe up feature without 10,000 followers, which by the way, I want to know that. And you've got the series exploring Escondido as well.
Yeah.
So I think what I love about this is like people look at the YouTube channels, oh, like what's my views and all. And you're getting a different benefit out of that in that you're creating awareness locally with agents.
Yes. Yes. And then because when I do the exploring Escondido, I not only do I post it onto my personal, so I post it onto my business page, and then people don't know this, but you can tag yourself. So you can tag yourself on the business page, and you can tag people that you're not friends with yet. So that's easy. I mean, easy way of adding somebody like, okay, hey, I do my exploring Escondido. This is how I do it, blah, blah, blah. But the only way you can be on here is if you accept my friend request. So let's open up your phone and let's do the friend request right now. And so before I leave their house, we're already friends. And so I will add them onto this video, and then it'll automatically go to their feed on Thursday. I have an email that sets up, hey, by the way, it just got released. And then the day before, it reminds them, hey, if we're not friends yet, you need to make sure that we're friends. And then I do like a brand awareness about this, the Exploring Escondido for 14 days. And so to them, they're like, well, that's like a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't you? And to me, it's my brand awareness. You're getting to know me, and that's all it is.
I mean, yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I mean, and I'm watching one of your videos right now with the sound off, but you're really natural on camera. Was that always the way?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm serious. Yeah, I'm super serious.
You were natural on camera all the time?
Yeah, I was actually really easy. Like,
all right. See, now people, now you just alienated half the listeners.
I was like, what came really hard was like, I didn't like the text on the bottom, or I didn't like my logo wasn't like perfect, or I had to set like, so I would like spit out videos like really easily. So I would do like 7 to 10 videos like within an hour, and then like on the weekend I was just like editing one after the other. And
what
so,
are you filming with?
My phone.
Your phone, your iPhone.
Yeah,
or okay.
I don't think I have my.
Are you using a selfie stick or just handheld?
Yeah, so I have I put my phone up, and I think I left my selfie stick in another room.
That's okay.
But I mean, it's just literally I just hook it up right here.
But it's not a gimbal though. It's just a selfie stick.
No, my gimbal, is a DJ Osmo.
Yeah.
DJ Osmo is what I use when I do my Exploring Escondido.
Okay.
I do my Facebook Live that I do every single Tuesday. I pick a house on Tuesday, and I do a Facebook Live out of the whole house. So I go check it out first, see where I'm going.
Seriously, so that's just another friggin' nugget, right? More nuggets per minute. I mean, seriously, people, listen to that. You call up a realtor, hey, do you mind if I see you got this listing? Do you mind if I do a Facebook Live on you know?
Jeff, I was trying to get to this one house. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. And I had told him, I was like, I'm going to do my Facebook Live at your house. He goes, okay, great. Well, he had some stupid road. You couldn't, like, I drive a GMC Yukon, for heaven's sakes. Like, I was not able to get up this dumb road.
Yeah.
And I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, I can't get up there. And so, because there's like this big, huge other truck. He goes, well, I'm having an open house. Can you come down on Saturday? You can do your Facebook Live on Saturday.
You're like, I think I can make it.
So, yeah, so it's all stuff like, I mean, the stuff that I learned off of YouTube, how to like put my little thing on the bottom. I mean, like,
yeah, this looks really good.
Yeah,
really good.
One recently, like about the how to use your existing posts. Like that was one of my most recent ones. How to use an existing post as a Facebook ad.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. And by the way, we're going to put links in the show notes for people to go check out your videos so they can learn by watching you.
Sweet. Don't forget to subscribe.
Absolutely. Subscribe. It's WL is watch, like, and subscribe. Is that the acronym? Comment. What is WLC? Watch, like, and comment. Yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe.
Exactly. That's awesome stuff. Really? I mean, seriously. Okay. Talk about brilliant strategies that are, okay, do you have to learn some basic skills? Do you have to get over some fear of being on camera and stuff, perhaps, like some people? Yeah, of course, right? But look at, I would say you're now getting agents that are eager to talk to you, in some
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got an email this morning from an agent that didn't even talk to me at my class. And he goes, hey, like your class was great. Can you sign me up for the next one? I'm like, yeah, sure. I didn't even know who he was because he didn't talk to me. Like,
Yeah.
I figured out who he was because where he was sitting, and he was the only person that technically didn't talk to me.
Yeah.
I figured that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's teaching them all of this extra stuff and helping them grow past, great rates and great service. There's so much other stuff that you can teach people.
So let's do this just for sake of time. Let's get into some specifics then. So for those that are curious about what you've been doing with agent classes so far, like we said, you've been a member now for I think about 2 months or so, right?
I remember it was actually a month.
1 month.
Actually, yeah, because I did my first class.
Yeah.
It was end of July.
Oh, wow. Okay. And now how many classes have you done so far? Roughly 3?
4.
4. Okay, 4 classes. And your most recent one I know you just had, which was Facebook ads for real estate agents. And that one blew up. You had like 40 people or something?
Yeah, I had 40 people in that class.
And where did you do it at?
At the NSDCAR. So the
Board of Realtors.
Yeah, the Board of Realtors here in
Does it cost you to host a class at the Board of Realtors?
No.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so you had about 40 agents in there. What's been just, I don't want to sound self-serving, but there's a lot of people, it's funny, people reach out to me after the podcast and they're like, yeah, I've been hearing you talk about agent classes and I just, haven't done it yet. So what's the biggest benefit, 1 or 2 of them, for you with doing the classes now?
So my biggest benefit, I am in front of more eyeballs at one time. So I was doing social media one-on-ones. And so I kind of goes back to that, hey, I wanted to learn more and teach you more, vice versa, that great rates, great service thing. And so to me, I invested a lot of time in learning on YouTube and understanding Facebook, understanding like really what comes along with the algorithm and all that stuff. And so to me, I was like, okay, I need to learn how to do it for myself and how to create the YouTube channel, how to do all that, and how to do iMovie. But also now I can actually help an agent. So I started doing social media one-on-one. So I would do a 30-minute, like on a Zoom call, let me dissect your situation, your, whatever it is, whether you have social media or don't.
Yeah, start there because most of them don't.
Start there, and then go from there. And I would just, it was kind of like a coaching call per se that I would do every couple of weeks with those different people. And so then it got to the point where I didn't have enough time to do more of them. And then I ended up having my one agent that I was just happy to do my one one-on-one with her. But she goes, oh yeah, no, I'm going to invite, this person and that person and this person. And that one person turned into 3, turned into 5, turned into 7, turned into 10. And that's actually how I hooked up with you, was because that literally happened in like 3 days. And so to me, it was like my biggest benefit out of just the agent classes is the eyeballs. When I'm talking up in my 2 minutes that I have at Caravan, I mean, I had 7 people get added to my class on Tuesday.
Yeah, in 2 minutes.
Within my 2-minute speech, and I literally blurbed out something that came from the Facebook Insights that got released out a couple days before about how, real estate agents are never going to, go away, but it's important that they learn all of the new steps and all of the new things. And so, it's truly just.
So, what happens, or what generally happens for you after you host a class? I assume you're following the feedback form, right? Fill that out, all that, and they turn that in. It's got some. Are you able to set meetings out of that, and referrals have come?
Yeah, so I give out the feedback form right as I'm doing the wrap up part. So I'll actually do my own wrap up, and as I'm doing my wrap up, I'm literally walking around giving them out. And I purposely don't give them out before because I don't want them looking at it, filling it out. I want them looking at my screen and actually have like my own projector, my own screen that they're looking at the whole entire time. So I actually don't even give out like, the PowerPoint so they can take notes.
Right.
They have like just a regular notepad that they're taking notes on. And so that feedback form, everybody fills out. And then when they fill it out, good or bad, whether they like it or not, and I actually only had one no, I had two people. One person told me that they didn't want me calling them, but they wanted me to follow up with their leads because he had 2 new leads for me. And I was like, okay, all right, that's fine. And then the other person, it's funny that he had checked off, no, he didn't want a copy appointment, but he's also the same person that sent me an email this morning that said he wants to come back to my Instagram class. So.
Well, and so that's just sometimes an indicator of they're not open to meeting with you yet, but the fact that they said they want to come to your next class, right? Everybody doesn't jump into bed on the first date, right? I mean, you got to do a little dating ahead of time, so it could be a process.
Yeah, exactly. And so my steps to the end. So it's basically you have my wrap up my feedback form. Having the end of conversations. I don't pick up business cards. I had one of my title reps say, "Oh, do you want me to grab cards for this event that I had on Tuesday?" If everybody said, who everybody's in here, I'm like, no, I don't want them. She goes, really? She goes, you don't want their cards? You're not going to do a raffle thing? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I don't want to do a raffle. And I don't want their business card because if they fill out my feedback form and they don't want me calling them, I don't want their information. So why am I going to reach out to them if they, obviously they saw no benefit, no value from being in class for an hour and a half. So that was always my, my state of mind on that. And then nonetheless, on the feedback form, it's got their info anyways, the name, the phone number, email. So I don't need any of the other stuff. I can pull it all up.
Right.
So I did need to do that. But then after that, so then I send out a couple different things. So I do a BombBomb thank you. I was doing it individual, with doing it through a text message and that. But then this last class realized that I couldn't do that anymore because my classes got larger. And
Too big, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do 40 videos and do that.
No.
I can't do that. So now I do an evergreen BombBomb video that just says, thank you for coming to my class for Facebook ads, blah, blah, blah. And that goes out on day 1. And then I have a follow-up that actually comes along with the, whatever the extra that you're getting. So it's like the ultimate marketing that you're getting. So I have that. And then I follow up with them on a text message later on that same day. So that's like day 1, day 2, day 3, I follow up with a text message. And the text message, all it is just, thank you so much. As I responded, you send you a quick text. Here's my contact card. Here's my share contact. Just, you can save it onto your phone if you have any questions. And then that's pretty much it. Like, and then from there, I actually just save them onto my phone. And then from day 5 to day 7, I'm just calling to thank them to see if they have any questions from the stuff that they've already received. And then during that time, though, I've already added them onto my list of my BombBomb real estate agents. Right. I've added my CRM. So they're automatically going to be getting the stuff every single Monday. So I'm not following up with them with the intention of, hey, we just met, so let's set up a copy appointment like right now. It's more like I'm showing you the value little by little, and then like a week later, after you see like all of my value, why it makes sense to do it. And I don't like doing copy appointments personally. I like doing calls because the way that I bring it to the agent, I'm like, you don't want to get out of your office. I got stuff to do. I'm going to save you 20 minutes from driving there, or even 15 minutes driving there, 15 minutes driving back. Let's do a quick 15-minute Zoom call, and we'll just go from there. Yeah. And if we're not, no big deal. We'll, just keep receiving my info.
I like that. The Zoom angle is brilliant. I wish I had thought of that, but you did. So you get the credit. Then tell us a little bit about the business that's been generated by your process.
So I've only been doing this for about a month.
Mm-hmm.
About a month. So I have 2 pre-approvals that I've got going on right now. I have another referral that I got from my previous class that I'm finishing their pre-approval today. The agent where I first started doing this class, I actually have a new escrow with her right now that actually is going to close in a week. And then there was an agent that came to my class, the first actual class that I did. Yeah. Came like 30 minutes late, and then she just sent me a referral. So, and that just started. I mean, like I'm not even like a month in. Like my first class was truly on the 27th of July. So
this is interesting when I hear this. That's incredibly exciting, right? Because it's whenever I hear that, right, I try and not get used to hearing success stories, right, and keep it fresh. And I'm just so thrilled when I hear the results you're getting so fast. And I try and remain curious as to Why do you think that happens? Why do you think it's like you do 2 or 3 classes, you meet some agents, and all of a sudden they're like sending you referrals and deals, and it's not like you've been working them for a year or anything. So why do you think that happens so fast?
To me, I think I'm very upfront. So if you haven't gotten that yet, I'm very, and it's
Yeah,
okay if
yeah.
you don't like me, but I'm very cut and chase. And so, I'll tell you the good, bad, the evil, whether you like it or not. And so when I tell people, I'm like, you're going to get these same 5 things, every single lender is going to tell you. And I'm like, and that's great, but that's like my bare minimum to knock on that door to be able to even have you send me anything. I'm like, if I don't follow up on your referral, I shouldn't have never gotten in the first place. If
Right.
I don't have great rates, great service, and I don't know how I first got the referral. But I think it's truly that, you have to be a little bit different. And to me, it's like when I left where I used to work, the one thing I wasn't allowed to do was social media. And that is truly the one thing that has tripled my business since like last year. It's just showing people that there's more to me than just the phone call and the voice that's going to give you this great rate and close on time. And so I've actually found that it just being, and then really knowing your stuff when you're talking. And then I had my class on Tuesday. There was a circumstance where they're like, well, what if they steal your information? What if they do that? And then I had other agents that are like, you responded to that like really well. Like you like weren't thrown off or anything. I was like, really? I thought I was. I'm like,
right.
I picked it really well.
Yep.
I think it's all in the value. Like you have to keep going.
Yeah, and the other thing too I want to acknowledge you for is that you've already scheduled out your classes, agent classes, for the rest of the year.
Yes.
Right? So which is pretty amazing. So what's your cadence? Once a month?
Once a month is on the 3rd Wednesday of every month. It's from 11:30 to 1. It's in the same spot at our Association of Realtors here in Escondido. And then I actually did Greek food, so that's going to be my food that I just bring every single time. That's just easy, and it's actually everybody loved it, so it worked out really well.
So it's like my big fat Greek agent class.
It was like I ended up with so much pita bread. I'm like, get this out of my life. I had like 3 slices of pita bread like the day after. Like, take this out of here. So,
that's awesome. Well, and you've got agents now, like you've referenced it a couple of times, but I'm sure as this continues to grow, and I don't know if you're doing anything at the class to register people for the next one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So I actually had my my flyer already. So all of my flyers are done for the end of the year. And so they're already on my computer and everything. And all of my flyers were already set on their table with my card, with my my mortgage Liz pen, like on every single spot. And so that way they knew about my next class. And so then it was important that, if you want to be on this next class, you want to come, let me know. I will add you. And I'm big on adding people myself because I know how difficult it is for me to actually do my own thing, like my own click on the Eventbrite and like register myself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so to me, I'm like, he's like, don't even worry about it. I'll register you. And then I have the list as it is.
Right.
And so I'll register everybody for that class. And then so like the next one's coming up is Instagram. And then I'm doing video marketing. And then I'm doing, the Facebook, the business page. And then I got Facebook Live all set up for the end of the year.
Yep. Good. And LinkedIn and YouTube coming next.
that was actually going to be the next one I was going to do after Instagram. But then I was like, okay, well, I'll just stick video marketing. And then if not, I'll just take out video marketing and I'll stick to YouTube and then I'll do video marketing later or something. YouTube has been a really big ticker as well. So that's going to be a really good class.
Well, especially with you've got experience with YouTube as well. That's helpful. And at the same time, I don't know, I feel compelled to say this because you've really taken on learning some of this digital social marketing. Not every loan officer has. And sometimes I hear LOs kind of, one of their reservations in doing these agent classes on these topics is that they feel like they need to be the expert in presenting them. And I don't know how you feel. I mean, everybody knows my answer is you just need to be the messenger. I mean, doing this in 10 years, no one has ever asked to see my flipping YouTube channel, like ever. What, you got any feedback on that?
I would say yes and no. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I think you like need to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think you need to have done some research. You can't just be reading from the teleprompter
Mm-hmm.
or reading from your keynote of your PowerPoint. I think you got to, because you got to be ready for those questions. Like you know, there was so many questions in my class that we ran over by like 6 minutes
Yeah.
and speeding up at the end to make sure that we try to not run as late.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to know some of that stuff, like when the ages change, why does that affect and how does that affect? And you had the mileage demographic, and well, it does affect, but how could you help yourself? Did you know, like, one of the things that people were saying, oh well, the mileage is like so horrible now, it's 15 miles. Well, did you know 80% of people move within a 12 to 15 mile radius?
Yeah.
And I was like, technically Facebook helped you out. And it was like, literally like eyeballs. So like, oh really? Like, yeah, like, and then it was 1.5 billion people are on Facebook every single day. If you're not on Facebook, you are missing eyeballs on your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like stuff like that. You like really, you don't have to know it perfectly, but one of the things that I truly believe is that, you can't, I wouldn't say fake it till you make it, but you got to be learning it while you're faking it.
Well, and that's the other advantage I think you would find as well, is that you're also learning this stuff while you're teaching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're going to be a modern originator, you better understand how to be relevant today.
Exactly. You have to understand how to do, your own video marketing, how to, somebody was asking about like iMovie. How do you do iMovie? It looks so complex. I'm like, it's actually not. I can, show you this, that. And then it's like, how did you make your, your social media, follow me on social media? Or how did you make that little thing that goes on the bottom when you do a Facebook Live? Where did you come up with that? And I'm like, I have, I'm like, I'm happy to show it to you. And so that was like a new way, a new reason. It's like, oh, I'll just make another video of this. I'm like, I found somebody that was talking about it. I'm like, so now I'll just make the video of how to do it, and I will post it on my channel.
Well, it's funny. It goes back to the whole thing of like, all things being equal, same rates, service, and all that kind of jazz, products, what's going to cause an agent to choose, be loyal, go with you. Like you said earlier, you've got to be different. It's going to be, what's that unique and different thing that's going to get you to stand out, rise above the noise that we all face in our local markets. And it's going to be this. It's going to be pouring into them and helping them, teaching them how to fish, right? To use that old cliche. But it does work. It works better than co-paying for Zillow leads, as far as I'm concerned.
I was asked to do that recently. I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. You're like, no, that's not my value prop. Yeah. My answer to that is, why don't you just come to my class? I'll show you how to generate your own leads. You don't need Zillow.
Yeah. I'm like, let me teach you how to do a Facebook thing. I'm like, I can assure you it's a lot less expensive.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. So we are going to have to wrap it up for sake of time, because you got to do a pre-qual, you said, right? And finish out your stuff for the day. I just want to, again, say thank you so much for, first of all, being a member, right? Because it really means a lot. I really see myself. I was thinking about this the other day. I was sitting in a training the other day and watching some people get up and speak and do this training in front of this room of loan officers. And I don't know if you've ever felt this, if you attend a corporate training, where you're watching somebody and you're like, man, they are completely disconnected for what we face as a loan officer every day, right? You ever have that feeling, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
oh my God, I was in caravan like this last Tuesday, okay? And this girl comes up and she says, I can do anything in every single program. And I have this amazing program that has 3% down. And I'm like,
it sounds, no one else has it.
Like 3 years ago? Like,
where
have you been?
So my thing was like, it was a room of like company leaders, right? The suits and ties. And I'm just watching this, just going, man, have you ever actually done a loan? Have you actually ever been in the streets?
Right.
So my whole point in saying that is, in trying to acknowledge you, is that I see myself as a loan officer still, right? Even though I don't originate, I'm still obviously very closely tied into this business every day with the full-time gig and stuff. So I have a passion for that still, and it really excites me to know that you are benefiting from this information, from this membership, and for being willing to talk about it and share your story. So thank you.
Yeah, no, dude, I greatly appreciate this even existing. I listened to you for like a long time before I actually signed up. And it wasn't so much that I was hesitant about doing it. I was transferring from so many different things that I had to like just focus on one thing.
Yeah.
In the day where I was like, oh Jesus, I'm going to teach this to like more than one person. I literally bought it. Like I literally was all in. Like that night, I think I was working out, if I'm not mistaken. I think I was listening to this and I like stopped working out and I got it and I was like, okay, I got to look at all this stuff. And I did it like that night because I had to prepare for the class that was like 2 days later.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Thank you. And so again, right, you're member of the month because, I mean, gosh, less than 2 months in, you're getting after it. You're very active in our private Facebook group, sharing in there, sharing your ideas and, information and how you're like improving this. And so I'm really grateful for you for helping make this community, this membership better.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You bet. So, and by the way, if anybody wants to reach out to you, what would be the best way to contact you? Do you want to do website, email? What do you want to do?
Try myself. That's it.
All right. What is it?
Yeah, you can don't email me. I have too many emails.
Well, I can just put your website up or your Facebook. You want us to link to your Facebook page or what?
Yeah, let's just link it to my Facebook. My phone number's on there anyway.
All right. So I'm going to put it in the show notes for people who want to kind of follow you, see what you're doing, because now you've got some fans and some followers. So they're going to want to, and I'll put a link to your YouTube channel as well in the show notes, like I said.
Yeah, if you search Google, literally, if you search Google and go Mortgage Liz, and like I'm literally on the top. That's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
There's great branding there as well. Mortgage Liz, love that. Pretty sharp stuff. All right, Liz. So thanks again for your time, and listeners, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. And hey, you know what to do if you like this episode. Leave us a little review, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.